Santi, and a very warm welcome to you. This is your Thursday edition of Afternoon Express, and my name is Balisa Tembe. Now, today on the show, we welcome back into the loft DIY queen, Melissa Robynne. Plus, we touch base with internet sensation Mapara A Jazz, and we get to hear their trending song, John Vuli Gate. Plus, we also get introduced to the new song on the block right here. Dumi, I'm also excited about what you've got cooking in the kitchen today.
Yes, definitely, Bali. And the other thing is I got to meet up with our master chocolatier, Dima Somatos, who gave me a masterclass on chocolate. But also we are making some delicious bacon and cheese scones today. And I feel like everyone needs to get their hands on that recipe. So do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for the full ingredients list.
Absolutely, Dumi. Now, to kick off the show, the creative mastermind behind Seditsi fashion brand Lesedi Baakwalanya, who is also the recipient of the World Rising Star Design Award in Fashion. Let's take a look at his latest work for African Fashion International.
A son of West Africa, our next designer always had a world view.
My name is Lesedi Baakwalanya and I'm from Rustenburg. I have studied fashion at Tshwane University of Technology, so I was doing double major. It was fashion, makeup and hair. COVID had a positive and a negative impact in my life. Positively, as a creative, I got the chance to actually reflect. I mean, I had the time to perfect also the collection that I had. My collection was influenced by my late mother because I grew up in a village, and just in general how we were brought up from an early age, my love for fashion and her love for fashion as well. The silhouettes, the colors she used to wear, and all the different outfits she would actually wear when going to church, when going to wedding celebrations, and so forth. So the looks on the collection are very elegant, very flowy, very free as well. So we've used your brocades, your cotton, and we've also used chiffon just to be able to breathe. They're very breathable. And we've also used African print just to give it that authentic look. I see the future of fashion being quite exciting, and very accessible because things have changed now. It has gone digital, so it's exciting. It's amazing. It's easy. It's accessible to everyone. And my collection also, like I always say, it's more of the heritage of Africa, but now being able to relate to the youth and interpret it in a much more easier way and in a futuristic manner.
What a way, Tumi, to kick off our Fashion Express Thursdays. You know, it's all about the fabulosity sometimes, and I'm here for it.
Balisa, it made me think of you because you are all things fashion. Whenever I think of a girl dressed up to the nines, I think of you.
Well, I received that, honey queen. You know, it be your sisters who know you the best. So, Mzansi, if you would like to check out one of these stunning pieces of the Seditsi Collection, then please do visit AFI Boutique on www.afiboutique.com, and your wardrobe will have a great addition to your closet. Now, on social media, Tumi, it's all about DIY.
Yeah, you know I like to do my own things, right? I've been trying to do my hair myself, and as you can see, this is the outcome.
Well, on that note, Mzansi, I want to find out from you. You know, sometimes you just have to do things by yourself. So have you ever tried any DIY, and how did it go? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Now, Tumi, you've already mentioned that you've tried some hair care DIY.
I have.
So much so that it made you shave off your hair.
No comment.
So I've got something special for you. I mean, after the break, I'm going to be sitting down with the founder and CEO of Nativechild. She goes by the name of Sonto Pooe. And this time, she's going to be giving us a hair demo. But let me take this conversation a step further. Okay. We're also going to be giving away a very cool Nativechild hamper at the end of the show. So that's going to entice Mzansi to stay tuned. Sonto Pooe, the founder and CEO of Nativechild, joins us in studio now as she demonstrates how quick and easy it is for all of us with ethnic hair to keep our hair looking healthy and feeling hydrated. Sonto, welcome to the loft.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what a task, girl. You have to prove yourself because me with an afro, it is admin.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. At the beginning, but once you get the technique, it's actually very easy. The most important thing about natural hair is moisture. It really comes down to that, is to make sure that your hair is moisturized, and then you won't have the knotting and then this and that comes with it.
Okay, that's what I experienced. So how best can we hydrate the hair, making sure that it's feeling lush and healthy?
Okay, so here I've got the Happy Hair Hydrating Mist.
So I love the fact that here we've got a product that is 100% plant-based, natural here to help us with our hair.
It's very gentle and kind, not only to your hair, but to your scalp as well. So this is what we use just to add in some moisture, and moisture really does come from water.
Okay.
So this is a water and oil-based product. It's important to make sure that like we mentioned before, your hair is fully moisturized.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in front of you just a little bit. So this product as well, you use it when you've got braids and you can't really be washing your hair every day. It helps to moisturize your hair underneath those braids.
Okay, and then the next step?
Okay, so the next step, we use our Milk and Honey Moisture Cream. Now, this is one of its kind because it's a body moisturizer, face and hair. You will not find that because it attests to the fact that this is a natural product. That's
what I do love about natural ingredients, is that you're able here, one size fits all. You're able to use it on your hair, on your face, and of course just locking in that moisture. Correct. I do believe as well that Nativechild is not only good for ethnic hair, it's good for all hair types.
Correct. It is. It's just that when I created the brand, I was creating it for me, but soon we got requests from everybody.
I love that.
And so now everybody uses it, so you use a generous amount, and you apply that at the beginning. Your hair obviously will look white until it's absorbed.
Obviously, because of the cream nature
yes.
of it. Okay.
She has got stunning hair.
She really does. So when we were to just describe the different hair types that we do find within ethnic hair, what hair types do we find, the different textures, and what would we say our model has then?
Type 1, 2, 3, and 4. And people that look like me and you, who have type 4 hair, it's the kinkiest. She looks like she's somewhere in between 3 and 4.
Yeah, and I also believe that your range is also good for men's beards. You know, Team Beard is in right now.
You touched on a product that I was going to talk about next, which is our hair growth castor oil. Now, this is fantastic for basing the scalp, so I'll show you just now how we simply just base the scalp. But it is a hair growth oil, and so it's fantastic for any areas that are needing a little bit of assistance.
Okay.
You know, these areas, those areas, and with men with beards, that as well. So this is an all-rounder.
I love that. And what I love, as you're just basing the scalp there so South Africa can see how you're doing it, what I love about castor oil myself is that it is so good for hair growth after braids, and you can see the damage that it does to your hairline.
Yes.
Putting castor oil almost on a daily, weekly basis, kind of revitalizing and stimulating that hair here in the front. I mean, your hairline will be back to new before you know it.
People say, you know, we've tried brand A, brand B, brand C. I've given up. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, you guys. We've tried it and it's worked. And the reason I say that, you know, besides our proprietary stuff in here, this is cold press. And so we have a castor oil that is in its potent form, where it's not really diluted. There's no heat used when making this. And so it's quite potent and strong.
I love it. I love the fact that we're using all natural products here and ingredients for the win. I also love the fact here that you've introduced us also to different types of combs that we're used to. I mean, this has now grown in popularity. What type of brush, what would you call this, and how does it help within our hair?
So this is a detangling brush. Super important. Do you use one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Why? She uses one. She knows why. Because, you know, when your hair is curly, it does this. It knots. The minute you wash it, it does that. And so with the different sizes of bristles there, it really does help to detangle. I wouldn't use this every day because you also don't want damage to your hair, but there is a time and a need for it. For me, I detangle once a week. And I would recommend that people do that once a week and not really every day because you also don't want
breakage. What are the last tips, tricks, and products that you have here that we can use?
I also brought whipped shea butter. The most important thing that you should know is your hair porosity. The bottom line is that does your hair allow water in?
Yes.
That's hair porosity. So really that's what it comes down to. That's what you should know. And if you know that, you'll then be able to apply.
How do we test it?
Easy. Take a glass of water after you've washed your hair, freshly washed hair, obviously not with product. Take a strand of hair here at the back and maybe even the side and pop it in there and see. So if your hair strand sinks to the bottom, it means it sucks in water, right? If it stays in the middle, you're good.
Really?
Right?
So if it doesn't sink to the bottom, but also if it doesn't float and it just stays in the middle there, that's what we look for.
It means you're mid-range. You will have very few problems when it comes to moisture with your hair. But if it stays at top, it means your hair cuticles are tight. And so you need to use more heat to open it up and then apply the product and then seal in with this shea butter or any of the other oils depending on your hair porosity.
Wow, I think that we have all learned something here from Sonto. Thank you so much again visiting Afternoon Express, helping us understand how best to take care of our hair, ensuring that it's always looking healthy and hydrated. Now, Mzansi, if you want in on this Nativechild glory for your hair, we are going to be giving you an opportunity to walk away with a hamper of your own. So please do stay tuned to Afternoon Express throughout the show, because we're going to be giving you those competition details a little bit later on. But to our model and Sonto, siyabonga.
Thank you.
Vanessa, we definitely are sticking to the DIY theme, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much for bringing Sonto and her team in to show us exactly what we need to do to look after this beautiful crown of ours.
Absolutely, girl. You know, as we take care of our crowns, we truly get an opportunity to feel like royalty. And if you want in on that feeling, Mzansi, please do stay tuned, because I'm going to be giving you the competition details as to how you can walk away with your very own Nativechild hamper. Very exciting stuff. Girl, and sticking to the DIY theme, I've got a very exciting one. Robynne is back in the loft, and she's teaching us how to make our very own earrings.
Well, girl, my mom knows how to make her own earrings, so I'm excited to see what Melissa has to show us.
Excellence. Refined chocolate pleasure. Lind Master Swiss Chocolatiers.
Welcome back, Mzansi, and thank you for staying tuned. Now, there are very few moments that can consistently put a smile on someone's face. One of them has to be the joy of opening up a Lind chocolate and savoring the quality and creamy taste. Well, I got the chance to go to the waterfront to the Lind studios to meet up with the master chocolatier, Seditsi, to find out exactly what makes Lind so exceptional.
Now,
Now, you all know I have the sweetest tooth, right? Well, today I'm in heaven at the Lindt Chocolate Studios. I'm meeting our friend and master chocolatier, Dima Simatos, who's going to be letting us in on why Lindt chocolate is the best in the world. First of all, thank you, Dimo, for having me here in Chocolate Paradise. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait. So spill the beans. What makes Lindt Excellence so exceptional?
Well, what makes Lindt chocolate so exceptional is the Lindt difference. One thing to remember is that Lindt controls the entire process, from plantation right through to, making the product, packaging it, and distributing. Okay. Firstly, we've got the cocoa tree. So this is a little mini cocoa tree, and you can see the leaf structure. Believe it or not, when this little guy grows up, he produces this little pod. Right? So this is a cocoa fruit. In the cocoa world, we have different bean varieties, and Lindt sources beans from Madagascar, Ecuador, and Ghana. Madagascar, Ecuador, this is what we refer to as flavor beans. So they're very premium. There's only a few countries like Ecuador and Madagascar producing these varieties. And the ones from Ghana create the backbone, the strength in the chocolate. So what Lindt will do is create blends. So the interesting thing is at plantation, what the guys will do is take this off the tree.
Okay.
They crack it open, and on the inside we have about 40 to 60 cocoa beans.
And that's that quality assurance.
That's the first step, correct. Bean selection, working with the farmers to ensure that consistency comes through.
Is this then what determines, because we've got the 78%, you've got the 85%, this is the part where
Absolutely.
you can get the difference.
So as you can see here, we've got a whole jar of cocoa nib. And a lot of the time you've seen the cocoa percentage, right? It's how much of the bean is in your chocolate.
Right, we've got the beans, we've sourced the beans. Where to from here?
All right, so once we've gone through the unique roasting and grinding, we go through a process where we take our entire mixture with the addition of sugar and milk powders, and we put it into what actually made the company of Lindt & Sprungli famous. Back in the 1800s, we had Rudolf Lindt. He invented a little machine called a conch.
Okay, because I was very curious and very interested to know that Lindt was formed over 150 years ago, but then the Lindt Excellence range was then, in essence, born in 1989.
Correct. So just getting back to the conch, because the conch is something so special for us. It's what Rudolf Lindt invented, and the romantic story goes that he left the machine on for the weekend. This excessive mixing developed flavor. It expelled all the acidic, bitter notes that were very prevalent back then. And he kept it secret, believe it or not, for something like 20 years. By the turn of the century, his competitor, the Sprunglis, who were based in Zurich, they offered him a lot of money to buy out the manufacturing secret of the conch. Still to this day, we're still conching.
Really?
We have to get a product that is anywhere near what we are used to. We need to do the conching process.
What else makes it so irresistible? Because there's so many different flavors, and I'd like to think, my favorite, obviously everyone knows, is the orange intense. Do you go through the same process with choosing those ingredients?
Absolutely. But when we talk about, for instance, our orange intense, you'll have noticed there's candied orange pieces in there. There is flaked almond. So our almonds, for instance, we source from California. So there's always one, maybe two maximum origins of our products.
Okay.
That's always traceable and verified.
We eat with our eyes, right? And I always get attracted to the packaging.
Absolutely.
The bunny.
Certain processes, like our bunny, the ribbon and the bell are put on by hand.
The packaging of this, I'm guessing also the same standard of perfection applies to that as well.
Yeah, but what's really critical, and I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it's super important, we heat seal that foil, making sure that we seal in that freshness.
It's the excellence touch. The one thing I enjoyed the most about that experience is being able to taste the raw cocoa nib from the roasted cocoa nib, because you can actually taste the development of the flavor from there. Because the one, you can taste that it's a bit of a cocoa flavor, but the other one, you can start tasting that there's actually, this is where the chocolate flavor starts. Everybody knows that my favorite flavor is orange intense, but I think after this experience, probably the whole range is my favorite. And if you think that's incredible, I have something that is going to blow your mind. We are giving away 2 Lint Excellence hampers to the value of 1,000 Rand. To enter, reply to the competition post on Afternoon Express's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram page and tell us which of the flavors of the 70%, 85%, orange, mint or sea salt you would love to try. Don't forget to use the hashtag Lint Excellence. Competition closes tomorrow at 12 noon. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Melissa is back with some more DIY inspo, and this time she shows us how to make our own earrings from, get this, Mzansi, clay. So how are we going to be making earrings out of clay today?
So today all we're going to need is some clay, and you're free to pick your colors. I've gone for some white, black polka dot action today.
Love it.
And then all we're going to do is take some wax or baking tray paper, have your board out there just so we can press it nice and flat, and your rolling pin, and we're good to go.
So where do we start when it comes to creating our own
You're going to start by choosing a base color. So I'll go with black. You can choose any of the colors over there, and we're just going to warm it up using our hands, making it nice and soft. And then once we've got that all sorted and you can feel that it's a bit easier to press down, you can just start flattening that a bit with your fingers and then put that onto your wax paper. Then what you're going to do is grab your rolling pin and you're going to wet that a bit. So just take your fingers and just wet that rolling pin slightly, just so that the clay does not stick to the rolling pin.
So you don't want to just, overly soak your rolling pin.
So now what we're going to do is take our rolling pin and start pressing this clay flat. And you don't want to go too flat, just leaving about, I think, 1 centimeter thickness, so that our earrings have a bit of dimension to them. So you can just apply a bit of pressure and again, get out those stresses from the week.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to need it.
And we'll just push that flat. So next what you're going to do is take an accent color if you want and start breaking off a few pieces, as small, as thick as you'd like, and then just start pressing them onto your base color.
Beautiful. And is that essentially how you've been able to create that speckled illusion on your earrings?
Exactly. And it's also known as a terrazzo effect, and also the cow print look, which I know is quite popular at the moment.
That is so popular right now. People are getting cow print everything.
Exactly.
Fingernails, outfits. I'm like, what is this trend all about? But look, I'm here for it. I'm doing a little bit of a variation here. The first one I just laid down is kind of big. It's huge, in fact. But this next one, I'm going to accent it with a smaller little dot all around here.
So once we're sorted with this and you've got a bit of a look on there, even if it's quite chunky, don't worry about that. We're going to wet our rolling pin again and start pressing our accent pieces flat into our base color.
Okay, love that. Super simple, super easy. I'm not going to add too much black here. I think I'm happy with my 4, and then we do this. What's the number one thing to remember when creating accessories out of clay?
I think the one thing to remember is you don't want to go too thick, because you want it to be as light as possible on that person's earring. I think the worst part is wearing a very heavy earring where you feel like you're being tugged to the ground.
And then your earlobe dangles. No, we don't need that.
Exactly. And the other thing with clay is don't go too thin as well, because we don't want it to snap off and break. Clay can be quite sensitive. So we want to just make sure that we have that 1 centimeter thickness.
Love that. Beautiful.
Perfect.
So then we just keep rolling, making sure that the 2 colors are incorporated into each other. Thank you.
And then once it looks, your accent pieces are flat into the base, you're going to take our cookie cutter, which you can take either from a bottle cap or whatever you'd like, and you can take that, just dip a bit of water on there again, just so our clay doesn't stick to that base, and then you press it straight into your clay.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually going to go with an oval shape.
Do a different shape. Yeah, I love that. I love the ingenuity here. I mean, this is so simple, so quick and easy. I'm going to go with a big earring. Oh, wait, no. A smaller earring so I can make 2.
And then once you've got your print, you can simply lift out your clay and start pulling apart the extra pieces.
Okay.
To unravel.
Is it okay for me to kind of do a little twist action to make sure that that shape is held within the clay?
100%.
Okay.
Just give it a bit of a push and then start folding it out. And again, if it's not perfect, that's not a problem. You can always use something at home like a knife or a cutter, just to make sure that your earrings are in your desired shape. And then all we're going to do next is we're going to grab a toothpick so that we can create the hole that our earring hoop would go through. And so you can grab a toothpick And this time you won't need any water. We simply go straight into the earring, closer towards the top, so that we can create that hoop that will go through our ear.
Love, okay. I want to do this one up here because I want the black accent to be at the
You've got
bottom.
it. So just poke it through, give it a bit of a twist so that you can see right through to the other side.
Like that.
You've got it.
So then how do we make sure that it's solidified like that? And then, of course, you can add whether you like our hoops or the stud little, what are they even called?
So what we're going to do is, before we add, and they're called jump hoops, before we put those through, what you're going to do is take your earrings and we're going to leave them on the baking tray, and that would then go into your oven. And so you'd bake that for about 30 minutes. Again, it would depend on the brand of clay that you use, but for this specific earring and for the specific type of clay, you put it into the oven 130 degrees for about 30 minutes. So once your clay earrings are all good to go, you put them, or you take them out of the oven, you let them rest for about 30 minutes, and then you grab an old earring which you can upcycle, simply take them apart and then put that jump hoop through the hole that you've created with your toothpick, and then you're good to go.
Love that. Super simple, super easy, Melissa. Another round of applause because you come bringing on that heat. I'm definitely going to be rocking those, hopefully in tomorrow's show. Now, to get more information and DIY inspo from Melissa, please check out our Afternoon Express social media pages. Welcome back to the show where we love giving you an opportunity to get in on the incredible goodies we have on the show. And right now, Mzansi, is your opportunity to walk away with these incredible hair care hamper. So if you want to find out how to do so, well, Afternoon Express and Nativechild are giving away 5 hair care combo hampers, which consists of 1 Nativechild deep conditioner, 1 Nativechild moisturizing shampoo, 1 Nativechild milk and honey moisturizing hair cream, 1 Nativechild happy hair hydrating hydrating mist, and 1 Nativechild hair growth castor oil. Now, to stand a chance to win one of these 5 amazing combos, all you need to do to enter is either on the Afternoon Express Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and enter on our social media competition before midnight tomorrow, Friday the 5th of March 2021. T's and C's do apply and can be found on the Afternoon Express website.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, Bali, from one giveaway to another, if you are well known for your impressive cakes and bakes, then it's probably because of that best-kept secret ingredient, Mama Bake Margarine by Clover. Today, we're spreading the love and baking up a storm with our bacon and cheese scones, because that is what baking with Mama Bake is all about. Our crew will be the lucky ones to receive the special scones as a token of our appreciation for all their hard work and making us look good on TV. Now, if you know anything about scones, you know that it's about the butter and flour mix, right? Which is very important because whenever you're baking scones, you have to make sure that the fat you're using in there is nice and cold, which in our case is the margarine. We're using ice cold Mama Bake margarine that's been sitting in the fridge. I literally just took it out a couple of minutes ago because now it's time to put it into our dough. So to start it all off, I'm just making some nice big cubes. I'm not sure if you can see this. And all I'm doing is I'm going to basically use my fingers to crumb this into our flour. And into our flour also goes some sugar, some baking powder, and some salt. So basically the whole idea now is to get in there with my hands. And I always tell you this, that whenever you bake, I like to get my hands dirty because that's what the labor of love is all about. So as you can see, I'm literally just using the tips of my fingers to make sure I work the butter in there. The reason why I'm not using my palms or basically forming balls with my hands is because I don't want the margarine to melt. I basically want it to stay nice and firm, and also to have those big chunks in there, because all we want is when it bakes up in the oven, it's going to create those steam pockets that give you that nice flaky scone, which is what we want. We never want a stodgy mix. We don't want to overwork the flour. We basically want to make sure that it's nice and fluffy and breaks apart easily. So into this mix, as you can see, I'm creating some nice big crumbs over here with our Mama Bake margarine. And the perfect thing about it is that Mama Bake margarine is perfect for any type of baking recipe. So whatever recipe that requires for any type of fat content, just use a Mama Bake margarine. It is also a source of vitamins A and D, so you know that you're getting all the nutrients you need in it. So all I'm going to do is going to wipe my hands down here just to make sure that I basically start afresh with the next part of our recipe. And to start it all off, I've got here some bacon that I baked in the oven. All we did is I just put it on a tray, set my temperature on high to 200 degrees, and then on a tray lined with parchment paper, I just put these babies on there, and then let them bake until basically my desired consistency. If you prefer a crunchier piece of bacon, then you can set it in there for much longer. I basically put mine in for about 10 minutes. So that's basically it. So our bacon is nice and chopped up. I start with that, go into our bowl. To follow that, we've got some cheese, some cheddar cheese that I've grated up nicely. If you want more of that flakiness as well, you've got the option of cutting your cheese into little blocks as well. That also makes sure that you've got that ooey gooiness when you pull your scone apart. And then into this, all I do is I'm going to mix our fillings into our scone, into our dry mix here, and there we go. The whole idea with this as well, I'm not too sure if I've mentioned to you, South Africa, is whenever you're baking, if you're going to put fillings into your dough, you want to make sure that you wrap them, or rather toss them in some flour first. The reason for that is you don't want your fillings to sink to the bottom whenever you're baking. You want to make sure that it basically stays in place throughout the baking process. And that's basically it. So now our dough is completely mixed. We go in with the wet part of our filling. And this is cream. Normally people would want to use milk. People would want to use egg. The reason I'm using cream is because of its luxurious texture, its luxurious taste, and because it adds a bit of creaminess to our scones. So that's basically it. Then another thing, whenever you're working with scones, do not over mix. You do not want to work or activate the gluten in your flour. And yes, I know it gets a bit messy, but this is the fun part about making your scones, because now you're going in with your hands again. So all you want is you want to make sure that the dough is nice and fluffy and basically nice, and it breaks apart easily. Most people would think, but this dough is still too, too crumbly. That's fine. That's exactly what we want, because you don't want your scones to be too hard once they're baked, right? All you want is a nice flaky, crumbly texture, and this is it. As long as it comes together when you put it in your hand, then that's perfectly it. That's all you want. You don't want it to be too much. And this is the next step now. Now that our flour or our dough comes together this perfectly, you can start cutting it into the shapes that you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into wedges, and these are the wedges that are going to go into our oven to bake at 180 degrees. So you don't have to worry. The crumblier the dough is, the better, because that gives you a nice flaky scone. You don't want it to be too stodgy, like I mentioned. So this is basically it. Most people now are worried about what about the shape? It's going to keep its shape throughout the cooking process. You don't have to worry about that. And these are going to come out looking nice and fashionable. As you can see, those beautiful little wedges over there. That's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to get with the times, use our mama bake to make sure we still are cool with all the cool kids out there. So that's basically our recipe, South Africa. This goes into the oven to bake at 180 degrees for only 25 to 30 minutes. The whole idea is to just eyeball it. Make sure you use your eyes, watch it there, see how it looks. If it's looking all nice and golden brown, then that's perfect. As long as it's more than 20 minutes, then you know that your scones are nicely baked and nice and crumbly on the inside. Now that's a treat to show some love, and we would like your help by nominating an organization which we can deliver our next batch of baked goods to. Simply comment on the Mama Bake post with your nomination, and we could deliver to a school, crèche, children's home, or even an old age home near you. But if you need a little reminder of how to make this amazing recipe, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Tumi, you have done it again. You have convinced me when it comes to scones. You know, me and scones have a little bit of a love-hate relationship, I'm not going to lie. Scones remind me of just settling down with the family, whether it's a funeral, a wedding, a birthday party, or that is essentially what scones are about. But I've really struggled to find a scone that is still, you know, a little bit juicy in the middle. That balance.
I think that's what my grandmother taught me. She was the scone queen, if I can name her that. And this was somewhat of a nostalgic moment, just remembering her and how she used to bake, the smell of cakes in the morning, Bali.
Oh, amazing. But something else that's also amazing that I'm very excited about is, Tumi, you are also giving away. This is an opportunity to give away to people that are less fortunate. You know, I love that. So tell us all about it.
So basically, all these baked goods that we're making now, we're going to be donating to a home, a crèche, any old age home perhaps that you might know of. So anyone that is interested would need to just go onto our Afternoon Express page and follow the links of basically how to get involved.
I love it. Just in that giving spirit, we might as well stick and keep those excitement levels all the way up. We have got those viral sensations. You know, Mapara A Jazz.
I know.
Absolutely. Sizoti John Vuli Gate. Vuli Gate, I'm very much looking forward to that performance and conversation. back to Afternoon Express. Now, musical duo Mapara A Jazz, all the way from Nativechild, has made quite the splash on the South African music scene with their hit single, John Vuli Gate, which placed them on the map with over 5.4 million views on YouTube alone. They join us now on the show to discuss and perform this viral hit. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you for having us.
Leonardo Malaya. Let me just stick right here to my front man. I mean, Butwam, was it a surprise that this hit single went viral so quickly?
Honestly speaking, we didn't expect like it will go like that. So it is a blessing, honestly. We are still surprised. Even now, we still think as if we are dreaming, man.
Wow. Well, I definitely want to catch up with you after the performance. But for now, here is John Vuli Gate. And of course, we're going to be introducing their brand new single right here. Take it away.
Let's kill it. Fix it. We will let Mapara A Jazz.
John Vuli Gate. Everything I see store. Everything 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 John Vuli Gate. I'm Vuli Gate. 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 John Vuli Gate. I'm Vuli Gate.
Fix it. We will let Mapara A Jazz.
Oh, I need someone.
Have I ever told you that your smile brings sunshine to my soul? Have I ever told you someday I'll be something with you by my side? So through it all, I'm staying right here with you. Where my heart heals with you. Right here with you. Where my soul heals with you. Right here with you. Where my heart heals with you. Right here with you, where my soul heals with you. Have I ever loved this way? My heart beats till we both cry. Our love forever with you. Right here with you. Where my heart heals with you. Right here with you. Where my soul heals with you. Right here with you. Where my heart heals with you. Right here with you. Where my soul heals with you. 'Cause you are my remedy. When you're right here with me. 'Cause you are my remedy. When you're right here with me. If I ever told you.
I'm a superstar. I mean, gentlemen, congratulations. Hit songs.
Yeah. Hit after hit. As always, man.
Hit after hit. And on that note, you know, you gentlemen have done so incredibly well. I'm sure everyone, also at Nativechild right now, is looking at you saying, those are our gents.
They are super proud. They are super proud.
Now, we got so super proud of the accomplishments that you've achieved, especially during COVID lockdown. I think it's so exceptional. When we see two people doing so well, we have to pat them on the back and say, bravo. So speaking of which, I am going to inform you guys here on Afternoon Express that John Vuli Gate, that smash hit that we all love so much, has officially hit platinum. And because it is platinum, we have got your platinum plaques. Do me!
Congratulations, gentlemen.
What an outstanding accomplishment. Do me?
Congratulations. I mean, this is quite outstanding. 2.4 million streams, right?
Yeah.
That is amazing, guys.
I mean, Malai, I can see you just kissing that award. What does this mean to you? Receiving a platinum plaque. So many South Africans right now can't say that they've done the same.
Like, there's a lifetime achievement, honestly speaking. Yeah, we are far. Still going far.
Still going far?
Yeah,
Are those the
next
plans?
time it's a Grammy. Like, we're getting there.
I am all for it. And speaking of which, I mean, you gentlemen have now performed right here. That song is, of course, performed by Mr. Brown and John himself.
Yes, and we also have, like, Soweto Gospel Choir on the song.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a powerful song.
And is that you guys just rubbing shoulders with nothing but the best in the industry?
The best in the, and Master KG on the song also, so it's powerful.
I'm very much looking forward to see what you guys have up your sleeves for the rest of 2021, because if John Vuli Gate and right here has anything to say about where you're going in the music industry, we are so proud to have you. Keep putting South Africa on the map. Keep putting Amapiano on the map. We definitely got our eyes on you. Dumi, you created beautiful scones today. I'm going to be cheersing with some tea to these gentlemen's accomplishments.
Thank you, Palesa, but I need to ask the question, guys. Did John eventually open the gate?
Yes, actually, as you can see, man, everywhere you go, it's John Vuli Gate. So the gates are officially open, eh?
Well, here is to the open gates. Thank you so much, Mzansi, for tuning in. Tomorrow, of course, it is our Friday edition of Afternoon Express, and I'm looking forward to that. We're touching base with Francois van Kook, and of course, he is just a bundle of joy, so I'm looking forward to that. But thank you so much to you, gentlemen, Mapara A Jazz, to you, Dumi, and you, Mzansi. Good night, stay safe, and happy eating. Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.